Hello and welcome back to my channel, everyone. So today let's get into the topic of feminine habits. And for myself, they are more like values. I embody them daily when I make changes, when I make decisions, or when I just want to improve something that I've been lagging with, that I have been postponing over and over again. Now, what is discipline to a man is devotion to a woman. So when I choose something, I commit to it fully. And this is contradictory to the usual picture of a woman who is like multitasking. Because what multitasking does is that it scatters your energy and your essence. So it's one of my first priorities when I focus on something, when I go about my day. I want to be devoted to anything that I do. Either it is going to the gym, it is eating, it is being with a friend, with my family. And I don't fear losing something which was not meant for this day. So, for example, if you say that you have FOMO, you have to dig deeper and understand why you even have it and why your mind can't devote itself to something that is good for you in the long term. And I emphasize long-term thinking a lot these days. We have all this short-form content which messes up your brain and your intuition. So, how you listen to yourself and what kind of insights you could get like daily, but you get lost in all this information, which we have a lot going around. Your relationship to yourself sets the tone for any other relationship that you have in your life. The feminine sets the tone and the masculine follows. Later on, the roles will be reversed a bit, but you will change them depending on the situation. But if you set the tone to be intentional, to be long term, to be deepening, then imagine what will happen to any connection that you have in your life. And if you feel that it's meant for short term, then don't pressure it, don't push it. You know that if you want to be fully devoted, then you can't let yourself be scattered and be divided across all of your daily duties. Now, presence has intention, and the feminine is the one who is fulfilled or should be. And this depends how well are you filling your cups, and do you let others do that as well, or you are someone who takes other people's responsibilities and feelings and makes them as your own. So you essentially let other people dump on you. You let them empty themselves on you, and your cup will now be filled with something that is unintentional, that was unconscious. So when you get more conscious of your connections, you start to see what they are actually built on. Is it something long term, or is it something fleeting, like lust or romance or limerence is, I guess, the third option, especially when it goes to the opposite partners in your life. And it's not about the things that you do for him, it's more about being there for yourself. You are devoted to your own being, which makes the masculine do and follow your being. When you are lacking in it, or other option is when you are codependent. Now, codependency is usually stems from childhood, but what happens is that we rely on other people of how we feel about ourselves. So if they don't respond with same intentions, with same feelings, we will take it as a description of ourselves, as our own truth, which is never the case. It's okay to better ourselves for someone who is important to us, for someone who is serious about us. But if we do it just to be liked, just to be connected to, or be dependent on someone, then there is where this goes wrong. If I go a little bit deeper, codependency makes us selfish. We don't actually care about other people's feelings. We only search to fulfill ourselves. In our nature, we are all a bit codependent because we have to rely on each other. Like even in your daily life, you won't get the things and do the things that you want to do if there are people not supporting you, if there is no cashier in the food store, if there is no one at the gas station who puts the machine to work, if there is no one who cleans your apartment, whatever it is, we are all in some ways connected. And the first connection that is your top priority as a feminine is the connection to yourself, is the devotion to your being. Secondly, a huge part of my life are emotional truths. And at some point, I needed to leave a perfection at the door, and I needed to get real with myself. It was not about perfection anymore. It was about honesty and presence. I add a mix of grace and compassion in whatever I do and say, because this is what rewires your mind to trust yourself, to try again, to build new pathways that before, for example, could have been self-sabotage, could have been jealousy, self-hatred, disconnection, all these patterns which makes us feel disconnected from ourselves and from the truth of who we are. And compassion is something that is not given out freely. You don't have to feel compassion for people who are adults, who can make their own decisions. You can give them grace, but you don't take responsibility for their emotions. And this is what it means. If you want to be like the perfect feminine, then you have to flip this script. This is why the looks of the feminine could be deceiving even for yourself, because you will get lost in it. It is about impression, it is about status and all these worldly things. But what matters is how you feel about yourself while looking some kind of way, while having a status, for example, besides your partner or at your job, whatever it is. And I know a lot of boss babes who are now returning to God. I think I don't have to explain it further, but this is how much we actually need unconditional love and safety. And God is not something that we can touch, that we can see, that we can call into our homes. It is something that we feel. And when God is not present, but we have the status, we have the looks, the accolades and all the stuff, then our emotions get buried through this and get suppressed. And a lot of women don't know that masculine actually waits direct communication. And when you add your grace and truth and compassion, now this is a combo which is lethal, which nobody can beat and nobody can step up to it if you truly embody it. And in some ways, you also mirror others. So what you give, you get. I think this is the most basic truth about emotions that I could give you in this short video. How do I move along my day is with intention to be the feminine self at all times. We tend to forget it because our world is built for masculine. Time-wise, physical-wise, even spirit-wise. The churches are mostly cold and dark. But what we need is a little cushion to sit on, is a little light from the windows that should be painted beautifully and added more beauty than to stay in this big halls of church. But there is no soul in it. So this is what it means to move intentionally with your soul, cooperate with her, and time again and again coming from head to your heart. Even when I'm speaking to you, I'm all the time remembering it because I have practiced it for so long, for almost 6 years, when I started to do this kind of inner work and preparation. If anyone wants to take it this way, if you are preparing for a relationship, a marriage, it depends on your situation. And let me tell you a little secret about attraction in dating. You don't play hard to get, but you should be hard to keep. It is easy for a man to take you out once, to buy you a coffee, a drink, a dinner, whatever. It is not easy for him to keep it that way, to build consistency, to come at you with discipline. And this is someone that you have to spend your mornings until the end of times. This is someone who will be at your parents' funeral. And when he has this belief that you are easy to keep around, believe me, he won't take you that seriously. And just the other day, I was thinking about cheating and how it happens and what is the usual pattern. Now, what I witnessed is that us women, we tend to not respect the masculine. And thanks to my father, I have done it like most of my life. Yes, there has been bad experiences as well, but I always remember my relationship with my father, and this has supported me so much to see that if you have a belief about the masculine, then he will respond you with the same belief. This is how perspectives work at the end of the day. And what do I mean by not being hard to get? It's not that we are going into the bedroom on our first date, but I don't put up walls or boundaries which only come from fear, which only come from sabotaging my presence. For example, when I don't want to be seen, but the feminine is meant to be seen by the masculine. So this is how God keeps you hidden until it is the right time. You don't have to think about it, about being seen, about showing your value, about attracting someone. This is all his work. So you reverse effort. We make things seem easy, but hard to sustain. It's this one quote or truth that elegance is making things look easy, but only you know how difficult it was to continue and to present yourself as someone elegant. So you don't give up that easily, which means that you don't give up on yourself that easily. You know how to stand in your feminine presence, and you don't lose the frame immediately. Because when women start to chase, this is exactly what has happened. We have played hard to get, we have tried all these tricks and manipulations and dark and light energies, and then all of a sudden we attract someone, but then we stop being intentional. We fall in love, we have limerence, whatever you want to call it, but the intentions should start from there, not before. Before it is easy. And I went to see Materialist some weeks ago, and the main actress, she had like a line saying that dating is hard, but love is easy. And I would challenge it. It is not, because love requires effort, and there will be many trials and tribulations that we won't have in the early stages. Okay? So this is what I have for you today. Take the information that you need, and you can leave a comment if something was confusing or you want additional guidance.